5 daily habits of healthy people. Start implementing these today and watch your health and your life transform. Hey, I'm Healthy Emmie. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Healthy Emmie, creator of the Slim on Starch program, a weight loss specialist and nutritionist. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 daily habits of quote-unquote naturally thin people. Now, I have a whole video that talks about my idea of the naturally thin concept, and I do recommend that you watch that one at the end of this video. I will link it in the down bar. But instead of us looking at people that are naturally thin, let's look at people that have implemented habits that allow them to be naturally healthy effortlessly. And actually, the 5 habits that I'm going to be sharing with you are from people that have gone through a tremendous weight release journey themselves. So if these people can implement these habits and be successful in the long term, then you can too. Your genetics do not predetermine you to be successful or unsuccessful. So by watching this video, you are taking your power back and you are deciding to implement healthy habits that are going to determine your outcome as a success. Also, make sure that you hit subscribe. I upload a new video every Wednesday and Saturday, and lately I've been uploading lifestyle videos on Mondays as well. It's a great time. The way that we're going to structure this video is we're going to start at the beginning of the day and we're going to work our way throughout the day. So starting at the very beginning of the day, I saw that our friend Kiki from Plantiful Kiki, she says the first thing that I do when I wake up in the morning is make my bed. Now this might sound like the most obvious thing you've ever heard, but let's explore this a little bit more because from a mindset perspective, this is immensely powerful. Make Your Bed, Little Things That Can Change Your Life and Maybe the World is a book by Admiral William McRaven, who was a Navy SEAL and actually the commander of the Special Operations Command. Now, whether or not Kiki does this because she read this book, I'm not sure, but this book is very insightful into why it is that these little daily habits that we implement are hugely impactful to setting up how we carry ourselves through the rest of the day, and in the greater scheme, how we carry ourselves throughout our entire lives. Making our bed first thing in the morning can seem like such a minor, minuscule task, but it sets up our day for order, discipline, and habit stacking. What McRaven talks about in the book is actually starting our day with small tasks that are very doable so that we can build up momentum. And we've established that we're acting with order and discipline and structure today. And today's going to be a good day. I've made my bed. I drank my water. I put my tea on. I prepared my meals for the day. Once you're in motion, objects in motion stay in motion. You may have heard the alternative, which is to eat the frog mentality, to do the huge task first, to eat the frog first so the worst thing is over with and the rest of your day seems easier. Know yourself and know which one works better. I know that for me personally, I do better with the make your bed sort of idea, that if I start out with a small task that I know I can get done, then the rest of my day sort of falls into place. So, do healthy people make their bed and make their bed people are always healthy people? That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is if you start your day with making your bed, what can you habit stack along with that so that the rest of your day goes according to plan? So let making your bed be the first thing that you do in the morning to act as the catalyst for you to then engage in all of the habits that you want to engage in that you aren't currently doing. So step 1 is make my bed. Once I make my bed, that's the trigger for me to then go to the kitchen and prepare my meals for the day. Once my meals are prepared for the day, that is then the trigger for me to sit down and to meditate or to get my sneakers on and go for a walk or to hop on the treadmill. So starting your day out with really simple tasks can allow you to build up steam and momentum to do the tasks that the happiest, healthiest version of yourself would do. The next habit that I would like to introduce is from Healthy Dad himself, my father, who transitioned to the Slim on Starch lifestyle in his late 50s, early 60s, and was able to release about 60 pounds. He's kept that off for about 7 years, maybe 8 years now, which is wild. I'm so proud of him. But what he does is it's 5 o'clock in the morning and he is making dinner. Yes, he makes his dinner at 5 o'clock in the morning. Healthy Dad is the most busy retired man that I know. He's golfing, and then he's riding his bike, and then he's swimming, and then he's volunteering, and then he's doing a favor for a friend, and then he's reading, and then he has his lunch, and then he does yard work, and then he mows our neighbor's lawn. It doesn't end with him. He is always doing something. And if you have that sort of a lifestyle where you are a very busy person, what's going to happen at the end of the day if you don't already have your dinner made for yourself? You're going to be exhausted. You're going to have decision fatigue because you've been making decisions all day long. And you're going to be tempted to take the easy way out, which is just to order takeout or to do Uber Eats or to grab something from a fast food joint. But if your meal is already made for you, the decision has been made for you. Not only that, but now that you've established how the end of the day is going to be, you're ending the day on the healthy note, now you've set up the premise of what is this day going to look like? Today's going to be a good, healthy day. I've already got my dinner prepared, so why not just have a fabulous day of on-plan SOS eating? It's also going to reduce your stress come nighttime. If nighttime comes and you get home and it's 7 o'clock and you haven't cooked yet and you forgot an ingredient that you need for a recipe, well, now you're stressed and you're in fight or flight, which is the worst state for you to be in at mealtime. When we're in fight or flight, blood flows away from our digestive tract and it flows toward our limbs because our primal brain thinks that we need to run from a predator. It's the worst state to digest in. You're going to have indigestion, you're not going to sleep well, you're going to have acid reflux because you're eating in a state of stress. So if you take care of that at the beginning of the day, it can allow you to eat in the parasympathetic nervous system in rest and digest later in the day so that you digest your food better and you sleep better. Quick intermission. If you need help with putting these habits into practice, I highly recommend that you submit an application to work with me and my team in the Slim on Starch program. You'll work with me as well as a mindset coach and a nutrition coach. So you can click the link in the down bar to apply to work with me in the Slim on Starch program. The next healthy habit I am taking from my lovely friend, Chef AJ. And as you can see in the clip that I'm about to show, she is not afraid to eat
sweet potatoes and broccoli. I look for the largest ones I can find with my broccoli. I don't like to weigh and measure my food. And then if I'm still hungry, I'll have a pound of fruit for dessert.
One of the daily habits of naturally thin people is they are not afraid to eat a lot. As you can hear AJ say, she says, I get the biggest potato I can find, and if I'm still hungry, I'll have some fruit. You see, if you want to be able to maintain your weight in the long term, you cannot outrun your appetite. You cannot outrun your hunger drive. Sure, you can do it in the short term. You can do it for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months. Some people even kill themselves doing it for a few years, white knuckling, eating teeny tiny portions. But inevitably, the body is going to get what it wants, and you are going to overeat at some point and regain the weight. It's like trying to stay up. You can only stay up for so long until you inevitably fall asleep because the body needs sleep. That's the way it goes. The body gets what it wants. So if you want to be successful in the long term, you have to be open to eating a lot of food. And listen, I get this comment all the time. People will say, there's no way that you can eat that much. There's no way you're going to eat all of that. Or when I go into sushi with my boyfriend, we go to all you can eat. And they'll say to me, you know that there's 6 pieces in each roll when I write down that I want however many rolls. They're like, are you sure that you can eat all that? We have to charge you if you don't eat it. I'm like, honey, you don't know who you're messing with. But I'm not afraid to eat. I actually like that I eat larger portions because, and it's not that I'm a volume eater or I eat tons of food. It's in comparison to the standard American diet, people eat this much food. I'm eating a normal amount of food that humans are supposed to eat, which is abundant quantities. But in any event, I love it because it shows that I have a healthy body, I'm an active person, my metabolism is firing, I get hunger cues. I think this is so awesome. My body works so efficiently. I'm putting food in it, I'm putting fuel in it, and I embrace that. If you are unwilling to do this, if you are unwilling to eat volumes of food, you're going to undereat. You know what happens if you undereat? You end up overeating. An Emmieism from the Slim on Starch program is eat now or eat later, but if you eat later, the quantity is always greater. If you let your hunger build up, you're going to have conveyor belt style eating later on. Another Emmieism is if you don't eat when you're hungry, you're not going to stop when you're full. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That little part, that little syntax is not an Emmieism. That's Newton's third law, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the third law. I don't know, it's been a while. The next healthy habit, as we're moving on throughout our day with Hannah from Carb Hannah, is, as you can see in this clip where she's gardening, Hannah stays moving throughout the day. What we do not want to do is be sitting all day, even if you're in a position where you say, oh, well, I go and I do an exercise class for an hour, or I walk for an hour every day, but then I'm sitting for 23 hours a day. That's going to be a problem. Not only are there blood flow issues and skeletal issues that can come from sitting all day long, just from a physiological standpoint, it's not a healthy thing to do, but also from a mental and emotional standpoint, staying moving throughout the day is hugely impactful. When we're moving, we release endorphins that manage our stress and anxiety. So if you are sitting all day long, your stress levels are higher, your anxiety levels are higher. And what do most people do to manage stress and anxiety? Most people aren't journaling or talking it out or meditating. Most people are using a substance, be it food, be it alcohol, be it drugs, or another addictive tendency, such as porn or gambling or shopping. So if we stay moving, we can allow our emotional regulation to be in line with our physical goals because we won't turn to food in order to regulate those emotions. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is and how you are better off walking for 15 minutes 4 times a day as opposed to walking for 1 hour and then sitting for 23. We want you to be regularly moving throughout the day. As Healthy Mummy says, you got to be like a shark. You got to stay moving so that we can regulate our emotional well-being and also have the physiological benefit of regulating our blood sugar, getting our digestion moving, keeping our metabolism steady, and preventing the skeletal issues that can arise from just sitting all day. The blood flow issues are major. When we sit like this, this is our back and this is our legs, blood can't flow as easily. And Dr. Greger actually talks about this, how you're increasing your risk of heart attack because of the circulation issues from sitting all day long. So we got to stay moving. The final habit is from the queen herself, my mom, Healthy Mummy. Healthy Mummy has an emotional regulation practice every day. For her, it is meditation and yoga. But for you, it might look a little bit different. For me, it's meditation, but also I do take time every day to check in with myself emotionally and ask myself, what emotions am I feeling? Most people don't make the time and space to check in with themselves and to say, how am I feeling today? And when we don't do that and we stay disconnected, we are promoting the idea that being inside of our heads and being in touch with ourselves, the mind-body connection, is not something of value. And instead, we need to just keep going through the motions, stay out of our heads and out of our bodies and just run on autopilot. And when we run on autopilot, we don't engage in mindful eating. We tend to disconnect and numb out because mind-body connection, checking in with ourselves, I don't do that. So then we turn to food to numb out and to run away from problems. And we breed a lifestyle of wanting to get away from our innate being and who we are and wanting to stay out of our bodies, when if you want to be a healthy person, you need to turn inward, because it's not always about what you're eating. It's about what is eating you. So I'll tell you what I do personally. I pull up the feelings wheel on a daily basis and I ask myself, how am I feeling today? It's so important for me to be in touch with my emotions and to allow myself to feel my feelings. In order to heal, you have to feel. And if you think that you're going to heal your body and you're not going to address the emotional side of things, you're kidding yourself. So this is a great practice to stay in touch with your emotions. I know that Healthy Mummy meditates every day. She does her yoga practice. She also reads a passage from The Power of Now for her emotional regulation. If you made it to this point in the video, comment "making my bed," because we both know that that means that you are on the trajectory to the healthiest and happiest version of yourself. I am proud of you for watching this video. It shows your dedication and commitment to bettering yourself. You should be proud of yourself for that too. I love you, honeys, and I'll see you in my next video.